Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everybody. Welcome back to the Packer Mentality Podcast, where I try to keep you up to date and shed a little light on what is happening on and off the field with the Packers. Your active participation is vital in transforming this channel into something truly special. Take a moment to subscribe, drop your comments, and connect with me on social media at Packer Mentality. Remember, you can locate this podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms. Let's talk about the big news this week that we were all looking forward to after the game on Sunday. Yeah, that didn't happen. Joe Barry will remain the defensive coordinator for the remainder of the season. Matt LaFleur decided to not make a change, probably just because there were just only 3 weeks left in the season. And really, they don't have anyone on the staff that can take over play calling on the defense. Not that I think it could have gotten any worse, but I have hope, and I do believe that LaFleur will move on from Joe Barry in the offseason. So, fingers crossed. On Sunday, the Packers will be taking on the 2-12 Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. So, what's been going on with the Panthers, and how do they match up with our Packers? I am recording this on Wednesday night because I will be traveling for the holidays. So we only have Wednesday's injury report. I'm only going to go through Green Bay's side, but follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and I will repost the injury reports as we get closer to the game on Sunday. As of Wednesday night, for the Packers, not practicing on Wednesday, Christian Watson, Darnell Savage, Devondre Campbell. I don't think any of those three are going to play. Jaden Reed, Elton Jenkins didn't practice either, but I think those two probably will play. Limited in practice. Jair Alexander, probably not playing with that shoulder injury. I hope they figure it out. Not going to make any further comments. Love Jair. And I would love to have him on the field, and I hope he gets healthy. That's all I'm going to say. A.J. Dillon with that broken thumb. Hopefully he is available on Sunday. Aaron Jones, Kingsley Enagbare, Jonathan Owen, T.J. Slayton, Quay Walker, Dontavian Wicks, all limited. I believe those guys will play. Emmanuel Wilson back on the practice field, at least in a limited fashion. He was activated or designated to return from injury reserve, so he's in his 21-day window. The Panthers this season should be a cautionary tale of what not to do when you draft a quarterback in the first round, much less as the very first pick. This is what bad organizations do, and it's why they continually have to look for quarterbacks. Panthers drafted quarterback Bryce Young out of Alabama at number 1, named him the day 1 starter. Then they put him behind a bad offensive line. He's gotten sacked. They're 4th most in sacks so far this season, and they didn't give him any help. He really is struggling with playmakers around him. That is a recipe for disaster and a great way to ruin a young quarterback. The fact that he struggled should not be surprising. If nothing else, the rest of us should feel bad for Bryce Young. I know he's playing on the opposition, but I feel bad for that guy. He's thrown 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions so far this season, and he's going to get to look forward to a new coach and have to learn another new offense next offseason. Having said all that, you can probably guess that the Panthers' offense is not very good. They've scored less than 21 points in 8 straight games, and they average less than 15 points per game. Plus, they are 30th in the league in yards per game. You might think with all their issues passing the ball, you I think they might try and control the clock on the ground with their running back Chuba Hubbard, but they are in the bottom half of the NFL in rushing, 17th. Right now, Panthers offense isn't doing much of anything well. The Packers defense, they should be able to shut down the Panthers offense. Everybody else has. If they decide to show up on Sunday, the Panthers defensive line, front seven, should be able to get to Bryce Young against this Panthers offensive line. In the secondary, I hope we see more man coverage because we shouldn't be afraid of these wide receivers. And personally, I'd rather see the Packers corners get beat playing man because at least they may be somewhere in the same zip code when the ball is thrown. I've seen enough of the Packers' inability to play zone coverage. Just play competent defense. Don't have our corners playing 10 yards off while the safeties are 25 yards deep on 3rd and 3. Have some situational awareness. While 200-yard passing games have been rare for Bryce Young, he could have a career day on Sunday. With Joe Barry calling the shots, you never know. Switching to the other side of the ball, the Panthers are allowing nearly 25 points per game, ranking them 4th worst in the league. However, statistically, they've been pretty solid in limiting passing yards and have a decent rushing defense. But could those numbers be a bit skewed from playing weak offenses in the NFC South? They've played 2 games against Atlanta and New Orleans already. Plus, they played the Bears and the Titans. Those are some bad offenses. Top tier offenses like the Seahawks, Lions, Dolphins, and Cowboys have torched the Panthers defense. Nevertheless, the Panthers secondary has performed pretty well. And Brian Burns, edge rusher, he is a force to be reckoned with. And the Packers offensive line needs to be aware of him, and they're going to have to be solid on Sunday. This may not be the most formidable defense Green Bay has faced, and honestly, they should be able to handle them. Whether we can get much consistent productivity from the running game is a bit of a concern right now, as there is some uncertainty about A.J. Dillon's availability. And honestly, Matt LaFleur might just forget about Aaron Jones after the first quarter. He has a annoying habit of doing that. This could put the burden once again on Jordan Love. And so far this season, Jordan has stepped up and handled that responsibility pretty well. The continued absence of Christian Watson is unfortunate for Sunday, especially given that the Panthers really struggled against the speed at wide receiver from the Dolphins. For success, Jordan Love needs continued support and improvement from Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and Tucker Kraft. I can't say enough good things about that trio. For rookies to come in and play so many key snaps at a level, quite honestly, a lot of veterans wouldn't. That's amazing. And Packers need them to keep up that success for at least 3 more weeks. Ideally, we'd like to see Jordan Love start the game quickly while maintaining disciplined footwork. There's a tendency for him to begin games a bit erratically and settling in as the game goes on. And honestly, it's cost the teams points in the past. And if the Packers win the toss, they need to take the ball. Don't defer. Give the offense a chance to go out and get the lead and set the tone for the game. Don't give the Panthers hope. There's your keys to the game. Your thoughts and comments are crucial to the conversation and the life of this podcast, so be sure to drop them in the comments section. Subscribe and connect with me on social media. Stay tuned for the post-game reaction episode Sunday night. Until then, have a great weekend, happy holidays, and go Pack Go.